This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching every movie on the top 250 movies on the IMDb list, best movies of all time. I am one of your hosts, Denny, and joining me are
John
and TC.
And this week, actually, TC, what are we doing this podcast? Start there.
We froze the IMDb top 250 list, top 250 movies of all time, supposedly.
According to
users,
regular people.
according to people. So there's 250 movies. We're starting from 250, going down to 1. Yeah, that's basically what we do. We just watch a movie every week, and then we talk about it. This one is a more modern movie than the last bunch that we've been watching.
We had a stint there for a bit.
We had a stint of old-timey stuff.
And we're coming up for air. I think we're going back into the deep end after this week, too. So prepare yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Oh, well.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, that's what we do. We talk about movies.
We do. We got trivia, stuff, history, whatever. Good stuff. And this week we are watching number 139, which is the 1995 movie Casino, directed by Martin Scorsese. John, I'm going to skip the synopsis. It's your turn.
Okay.
What'd you think of this thing?
It's okay.
It's okay?
All right, wrap it up.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's okay.
Talking like a gangster.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all right.
Is
Yeah,
this
we
your
talked about
gangster
it.
impression?
Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of. Yeah, I'm trying. I watched this movie. It's 3 hours. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like-
I mean, yeah.
I sat there. I sat there. I sat there. I sat there and watched the movie.
I kind of want to tell
3
you how bad
hours.
that is, but I kind of want you to keep doing it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of
I'm
funny,
having fun.
actually.
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself. Anyway, I don't know. It's okay. It's like it's watchable. I didn't necessarily hate it as it was going on. It's
What a
more-
start.
didn't like
Jesus. Didn't
it's more
necessarily
bad-
hate it.
Well, you know, and same with Wolf of Wall Street and Goodfellas too. You know, it's bad people doing bad things. This time without the comedy, so that
You didn't laugh when his eye popped out of his head there? That was pretty
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah. I mean, again, the way Pesci's playing, you make me pop your eye out.
Don't make me do
Yeah,
this.
what the fuck? You making me do this? You scum.
I think Pesci was my favorite part of the movie. I thought, I mean, again, he's still playing very much kind of a very similar character that he plays in Goodfellas, which was the movie that came before this one. So,
Did you guys recognize at all? Like Donald Trump kind of has the Pesci thing.
Does he?
really?
I felt like the face, like that, like squinched up
Or like he
face. that,
purses his mouth, kind of?
yeah.
Yeah.
They purse their mouth the same way.
And he kind of
I
has
had to
like
get that out.
he's kind of fat, but his suits hide it. He's got the weird hair that kind of like goes up and over.
And-
Yeah, I
he's-
see all that.
Yeah, he's got the Trump going on.
Yeah, the Pesci
Well,
thing.
Trump's got the Pesci. I don't
Yeah,
know what
one of
it
the
is.
two.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, John. Go, keep
No.
going.
It's an interesting parallel. Tough role for Sharon Stone doing the sort of like woman going into addiction, being terrible, and I thought she did her part well. So
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Like it was convincing. Like just sort of.
You just didn't like it?
Well, no, she's not supposed to know. What it means is like she, it wasn't necessarily enjoyable to watch because it's kind of sad and terrible, but I thought she did a good job.
Yeah.
And I thought, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. I thought it was watchable to some extent. Sometimes it was a little interesting to hear about like how casinos operated, but I didn't feel like I really got that much detail about it either. You just sort of heard more what the mob did, I guess. So
Still not really sure what the mob was doing either, besides stealing money.
Just
they were
skimming money.
Is that it?
Skimming money there. Yeah, that was it really.
Well, then if they were just skimming money, then why were they also like murdering and beating people up and stuff?
it was part of the job.
That's what the mob
description.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's the job wreck when you
Yeah.
go to get hired. Like, do you murder? You kill? You steal? You skim too?
Perfect. Right this way.
I didn't think it was. It sort of had there's a lot of echoes of Goodfellas, and so I think maybe that sort of dampens the film a little bit for me. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I wasn't that. I watched it and I was okay with it, and it was interesting to some extent, but I feel kind of flat about this one.
Really?
I mean, again, mostly I like Pesci. De Niro is just. it's kind of his character for the most part until he kind of goes a little insane. But he's always just like kind of keeping everything down. So he's like just very.
He lets his jackets do the
throughout whole
speaking.
thing. yeah, and the shoes. Those are some wild shoes and jackets,
Dude, he pulled those things off pretty well, I thought.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have. I don't
He's
like
fine.
start.
He's
Yeah.
fine.
Robert De Niro.
He's average. He's great. He's fine.
Yeah, he's okay. He's all right.
He's all right.
He's all right. Oh, Bobby
So
and me.
we're getting so spoiled. Jeez.
I guess so.
Anyway, sorry.
So yeah, I no, it's okay, but that's just kind of. I don't have a whole lot of exciting things to say about this one. It's
Oh,
just
I
sort
was
of like
expecting exciting
I watched
things.
it. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was.
I just
I
watched
was.
it. I was a little disappointed he didn't die. You know, because you see his body flying through the air in the opening scene when the car bomb goes off. So you really think that he's blown up for good.
True.
And flying through fire for some reason.
Right. Yeah. So you kind of have the idea that he actually does die because you do hear you hear Pesci narrating, even though he's dead. So it's not like
Yeah, it's true.
It's not like that.
There's a lot of narration in this one.
Yeah.
I like it where there's like some third guy comes in and just
Yeah.
starts
I
narrating.
was like, wait,
for the hell
third
of it.
narrator? What the fuck?
Yeah. Some other dude just like starts talking out of nowhere, like, what? Okay.
He's
fine,
the salt and
whatever.
pepper hair guy with the dark
Oh yeah,
eyebrows.
the guy
Yeah.
that's skimming, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I guess I talk now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I am
Exactly.
now a main character. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to get shot in the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
that
he
was all
survives. He does, right?
Oh, I thought he got shot.
The salt and pepper dude survives. He survives because
He's the one who beats
Yeah.
Joe,
I'm thinking the
Pesci.
white-haired guy. I'm thinking
he's
the
the one
white-haired
who
guy.
beats Nicky and his brother because they use his own gang.
Oh,
and
right,
turn them against him.
right. No, I was thinking the white-haired guy.
Who
Sorry.
gets
Yeah.
killed in like Costa Rica or something
Yeah,
at the end.
yeah, never
But
mind.
yeah, I mean, I think again, my favorite part of it is Pesci probably because there's a lot more time spent with him in this movie than in Goodfellas, and he is so menacing. I think in like this really just antagonistic way. It's just he does that really well. That's really his signature thing to do, and I just think it's pretty entertaining to watch that. This guy
In a
that's
weird
just
way,
like-
because it's also scary a lot of
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
it's scary, but it's a guy that he could explode on you, and again, that's the same as the Goodfellas guy that he plays. But he does it really super well, and this movie spends more time with his character than you get to see Pesci's character in Goodfellas. So that's probably my highlight of the movie is just seeing kind of more of that seeing Pesci do that more, and I mean that's about it. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Yeah.
TC, what do you think?
It's a decent movie. I mean, I don't know. You kind of ruined it now, John.
Yeah, you fucking ruined it.
Hey, just flattened it. Just killed the vibe. No,
I really like
mean,
this movie. I'll put that out there. So I'm gonna
Oh, good, Denny. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah,
get
I
some
think
positivity.
I mean, I don't know why, but good.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know how
the
you.
same.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's the same like formula for the whole movie, right? Like it's a bunch of camera moves and narration, and that's like every single scene.
Yeah.
almost.
Yep.
So I mean that it's kind of overdone a little bit, but at the same time, I guess it's kind of what the movie's whole vibe is, right? It's like these gangsters pontificating all the time, and really they're just scumbags, all of them.
yeah.
Right.
I thought De Niro was good. I mean, he's got that face where he's just looking out and he's thinking, and that's what he
Yeah.
does.
He
throughout the whole-
frowns, and you're like, uh oh.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
kind of has a
he's like,
scowl, and he just kind of looks like he's looking in the distance. He's like looking at someone, but he's looking past them, So he's got that one down. I think Sharon Stone did a hell of a job when she was all bent out of shape getting out of the car at the house.
Oh yeah, when she was like
That was
smashing
probably-
the car.
Yeah, that was probably like one of the more believable scenes where she like gets out all flustered and just slips and just eats shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was natural. That wasn't acting. That was like she was just so in a state that she totally lost her balance. So
Yeah.
she did a good job. But I agree with John. It's kind of like it's depressing to watch that acting job because
Yeah.
it's just a shit show.
I don't know. Did you? It seems a little strange that Nikki fell for her towards the end because she was such
what
a
was
wreck
that
at
about?
that. She was such a wreck at that point.
She's hot.
Already. It seemed.
I guess he's
Yeah.
just a scumbag. He doesn't have any women.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
No, but he does showgirls and whatever. I mean, even then, she was. Again, the movie does this. They made her look worn out, even towards that point, and she wasn't looking nearly as attractive as she was in the beginning of the movie.
It's mostly because that haircut. They gave her like the shorter haircut.
Yeah, they just sort of like they did some tricks to just make it look. But I was a little. I don't know. I guess he just maybe just because Nicky was so impressed with her at first when he saw her, and maybe just getting Sam's guy. I don't know, or girl rather. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, TC.
No, that's fine. I mean, that was a weird part of the story, right? It just seemed like, of course, that's what happened, right? It's just like one more thing to lay on this stupid situation between all these people.
It's weird, like that whole thing just kind of develops in two scenes, really, right? And it seemed that I would probably say those are my least favorite parts of the movie because they seemed very out of place and abrupt. Like there's no real reason. It's like, oh, she's complaining to him, and now they're fucking. Okay,
right.
No, she's complaining to him, and he just puts her head in his lap.
Oh, that's his move, dude. Grab the back of the head.
That's a hell of a move, man. Yeah, that one scene where he's just walking and he puts her in the car and then he's still talking. Like,
an impressionable teen sees this movie and tries that. It's not going to go well.
No.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's probably not going to be a good move.
yeah, seriously. I mean, I don't know. It's definitely got the Scorsese feel, this movie.
Long narrative.
It's long.
Voiceovers.
It's full of, yes, exactly.
That's like Scorsese.
I do love lots of like Rolling Stone songs popping out of nowhere. That's always good.
Those
Two
are
Devo
always
songs.
For that.
Two.
Yeah. He does do that well. I mean, I'm not unhappy I watched it again. I had seen this before, but I mean, once it all starts falling apart, like you kind of know where the movie's going.
Yeah.
You know.
I thought he was going to die at the end.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, you see like his body in the beginning, like on fire, like not even like floating through, but the cut there.
No, flying on fire, right? I mean,
flying on fire.
Well, he's not on fire. He's in front of fire. He's not on fire.
Right.
Very dry.
He's like fire is superimposed.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I even because I'd seen this before and I forgot that he didn't die. So I had assumed I was like, oh, he dies. I forgot that he died. Oh no, wait, it was just I forgot he didn't die.
Yeah.
But then Pesci also does the voiceover. Yeah, how does it's like the American Beauty thing where it's like, oh, the guy's dead and he's aware that he's dead. Where is he? Is he speaking from beyond the grave? Is this like a ghost narrator?
I didn't even pick that up really, but you're right. That's a good question.
Kind of strange because they're all like talking about the past and you're like, well, you're dead.
But you're dead. Yeah. So is this the actor now doing the narration?
Yeah.
Like this is like the actor being separate from the character? I don't know.
It does seem a little strange. I think in Goodfellas you have only one narrator, and it's the guy. And
that's two. The wife has a narration too.
Oh, the wife. But these are people that live. Both of them.
Both of them live
through the movie. So it's just sort of again, it's all a it's not a reenactment based on a true story sort of thing. So I guess it's okay. But it is. I think it does seem a little strange to have the narrators be people that are dead and speaking as if they're retelling the story after they've died.
I kind of like that. I don't know why. Like the amount of information you can get away with doing some narration like this is like the first half an hour of this movie is like exposition pretty much.
Well, and it's great. I don't know. It's just great to hear both De Niro and Pesci talk.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just fun to hear them talk in their gangster sort of ways.
Yeah, actually, like listening to it's like there's so much fucking money in this place. You're like anybody else saying this, it wouldn't be as good. Joe Pesci's voice, is really good.
Right. He really does nail that like Italian, mobster sound.
Yeah, and he's so small too. Like he gets away with being so threatening in these movies, which is really crazy. Because like think of another like Martin Short. Would Martin Short be able to be scary? I don't think so.
No.
It is an
Definitely
impressive thing. It is an impressive thing to pull off. He just has a presence about him. I mean, and by his actions too. But even when he's not, he's like you just get this coiled spring kind of idea from him.
Yeah,
that, and he does that super well. What else you got, TC?
Not too much. I mean, it's well edited, well shot. Audio was decent, just mostly dialogue, so nothing crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible movie. It's not a great movie, but didn't hate watching it. I was just glad to be out of 1950.
Yes, right. We're going to 1927 next week.
Oh, fuck off.
Hold on tight. You guys not impressed by the like the production design and like the amount of extras and?
No, that's impressive.
The casino settings and those scenes of showing the money moving around and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked that.
Yeah,
it made me want to know more about the inner workings of the casino. I guess I felt like it seemed so authentic that you just kind of wanted to feel
money
like
in, money out, John. Money goes
happening.
in, you take the money out. That's all you need to know.
That's right.
There's a big count room, and you just go in there and you take some money and you walk out.
Right.
Yeah.
How much money do these people need? For fuck's sake.
I don't know.
Like the people in Chicago or wherever they weren't even doing anything. They go have like pasta dinners and collect millions of dollars.
I know, and they're bitching about fucking someone skimming the skim.
Yeah, and you're like, well,
Like,
you're still
they're the
getting
ones
free
doing
money.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like be happy. I know.
Probably not a good question to ask your mob boss.
Probably not.
So, well,
No.
how much do you need? Come on, you got a lot of money, man.
How
boss.
much do you need,
You
boss?
don't need more.
Come
do you?
on,
I mean,
boss.
look at that. You got a lot of what's that?
Hey, that's a pistol. Oh, sorry, boss. No, yeah, I'll go get the money, boss.
Yeah, I mean, money for more bullets. I see.
Money
Yeah,
for more
okay,
track
boss.
jackets and matching pants.
Hey,
They were pretty bad at fashion, huh? For being rich dudes. They look like a bunch of old geriatric dudes.
They need
mobsters
to be
always kind of
fashionable.
looks weird.
But aren't most rich people try to be fashionable?
I think it depends where you're at. If you're like, you might be rich in the public eye, and then maybe you're more fashionable. But these guys weren't necessarily wanting to be seen
That's
or be conspicuous.
But don't you think people they knew who they were, right? They just didn't talk
Yeah.
because they had the cops and
Yeah.
they would kill you if you did something.
Yeah. Besides, they wanted to be fashionable. Maybe they'd get a little exercise or something too. You know.
Pasta's just way
Wouldn't
too
hurt.
good.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I'm not going to gush. I'm just going to go through the plot.
No, gush. Please, gush away. Better
I
than
don't
Goodfellas?
I liked it better than Goodfellas because I think, and I hope this doesn't come across.
Shocking.
I think the wife character in Goodfellas is really intolerable to just listen to. And I know it's like she's annoying because her husband's a piece of shit and all that stuff, but those parts of Goodfellas are just grating. And I
she's
just like
just really shrill and nagging. In those
it's a lot of
parts,
nagging. It's a lot of and even the main character, what's his name? Ray
Right.
Leota. Didn't like it as much. Didn't like the ending as much.
So
The ending of
you're
this one's
saying
kinda weird,
You
too.
would rather when your wife goes south, what you'd rather have her do is yell and scream at you as opposed to whine and nag. You want the direct approach to the hatred. You don't want the needling
It's more
approach
honest,
to the hatred.
really.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You should let Naomi know that, because
Oh,
that's
she
going to
does.
happen. Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Watching these movies, you got another 5 years.
Yeah, as long as I can keep my pills more hidden than De Niro does, I guess.
Yeah, maybe that
Yeah.
helps. Yeah.
The soundtrack, you guys mentioned it, was awesome. I mean, how many awesome songs are in this from great bands, but not the overused ones? Not the overused songs.
No, and then everywhere else it's Stones. So it's like some great songs are in there, like the sort of the official soundtrack, and then everywhere else there's all these Rolling Stone songs just thrown in, which I do love that.
Yeah. And they even had the Devo cover of a Rolling Stone song
Yeah.
just to have more Stones. I got nothing.
Wait a minute, why don't you gush a little? Come on, I really do want to hear the good. Help me understand the wonderfulness of this sick movie.
The acting, the way it's paced, I think.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours long, and I think maybe there's one part in the middle where I kind of just stop paying attention for 5 minutes. But for a 3 hour long movie, that's pretty impressive. I feel like you learn some stuff from this movie.
What did Denny learn?
Like how, people look at how you, the whole hierarchy of pit bosses and how casinos work in a very high level way. You don't actually know what
Do they actually
qualifications
run
these
that
people
way?
have.
No,
Right.
I don't even know.
They do.
You get-
This movie is extremely accurate to the
okay.
true story.
Well, you get acquainted with all the. If nothing else, you just sort of see the names of the job titles of the people, all the people involved in what they might do.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
they tell
I
you, it's
agree.
like
And-
this guy's watching this guy, that guy's watching that guy. We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
security cameras. The money moves
Right.
in here like this. And they talk about how casinos were run by the mob back then and how they would have street justice because it was a bunch of mobsters, which all that actually happened. So you feel like
right.
it's giving you a view into this world, even though it's not, a boring documentary or just a documentary, but it's still
I think
giving you
you're right.
a view into something that I had no idea ever existed pretty much.
Right. And you're right. I think you're totally right about the pacing. Because I didn't mind watching it. It was over 3 hours.
2
And I
hours
was
and
okay.
58 minutes.
Yeah, I thought it felt like over 3 hours.
Yeah,
so maybe I
it's
was
pretty
wrong.
long.
But anyway, but I think you're totally right. It is well paced because I didn't feel like it lags really. I don't think I really can think of a part. I think it was just sort of felt like the pacing was pretty consistent all the way through. I don't know if I think of a part where my attention wandered or something like that. So you're spot on there.
And it also it's an epic that takes place over years, and you would think that a movie like that, The Godfather, but it didn't. I can't think of another example, so this is a bad thing to bring up. But it doesn't seem like it's episodic where you have to jump ahead years. It seems like it flows pretty smoothly, like it's a cohesive piece of work, and as opposed to like, 10 years later, this different era for these guys or whatever.
Right. No, it moves very smoothly, so you feel the passage of time, or you just have the sense of it, but it doesn't feel like you're cutting and Yeah, I've actually one other bit of humor did seem to be like am I getting confused? Sometimes like the titles of where they were at was funny.
Back at Home or something like that? Or?
Yeah. It was like just like funny. Yeah, it was like that was like about the only humorous thing in the damn movie.
Yeah, Back years ago or Back Home years ago or whatever that one was.
Yeah.
Was there any parts that are funny? I'm trying to think. It was
Not really.
Some.
Oh, no. There's somebody who has been funny, who is playing a serious role, who
Don
did
Rickles?
his job very well. Yeah, he was great.
True.
Yeah.
But he just played it straight, and he was cool.
The scene where Joe Pesci throws the phone at him and he rolls over, his face was pretty funny.
Always funny when you get hit by a phone. Yeah, and James Woods was good as the sleaze bag.
Yeah. You guys ever anything about James Woods recently?
No.
Oh no, what's he been doing recently?
He's very outspoken
About what?
politics.
Is he all Trumpy?
Yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So that's all I could think of when I was watching. I was like, I kind of hate this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
That sucks.
What else? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Great. I thought the acting was great. I'm surprised that like De Niro and Pesci didn't get nominated. I guess it was too similar to Goodfellas, because that is pretty similar. But
yeah.
Would you take dirty bets if you were a politician? Free chips, at least the free chips. Would you do that?
Probably.
Maybe a comped steak dinner.
Yeah, I would like to think not, but if I were a politician, I might already be in trouble. Once you're in politics, maybe it's just like maybe you just have to do that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just
part of the deal.
It's just part of the gig.
They'd look at you funny and wipe you out if you didn't take it. I don't know.
You're gonna make us all feel bad. Take the chips.
Yeah. What do you think we're bad people?
You think
you're better than me?
You can't not do this. You're a politician now. You got to take the fucking chip.
Oh, I got 2 Seinfeld references in this movie. Casey, did you recognize anything Seinfeldy? You're a Seinfeld fan, right?
Seinfeldy?
Seinfeldy.
No. Off the top of my head.
One of the, I think he's an FBI agent or something. The guy who plays that character is the guy in the episode of Seinfeld with the girl voice that confuses Jerry when he calls his girlfriend and he can't tell if it's his girlfriend or her roommate who's a guy. High talker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that guy's like a pretty prominent role in this movie, and I couldn't take him seriously because of that. And then the pants thing. Take your pants off when you sit down. Come on.
Bro.
True.
Nice.
That episode with like Kramer and Frank. Yeah.
Hey, you got to take the pants off so it doesn't
Playing
crease.
pool with their boxers on. Yeah.
With their boxers on and then little fucking...
In the tiny room.
And then... and he's using the conductor wand to
because it's
pool cue.
Shorter. Yeah.
It's shorter.
Good show, Seinfeld. Hilarious.
Yeah. So the funniest part of this movie was a reference that brought us to a comedy.
Yes. Would this movie have been better for you guys? Do you think if they tried to like stick some comedy in there every once in a while?
Yeah, maybe a little comic relief.
I think in Goodfellas too, they show the people having a lot of fun. I don't even think De Niro's character is one to really have that much fun.
No, he works 18 hours a day. He can't even enjoy himself.
I mean, he's like just very serious the whole time. And even, Nick Pesci's character isn't necessarily having a ball either. I mean, there's some like the golf shots, and I guess it's kind of funny when the FBI has to land the plane on the golf course.
That was pretty good, yeah.
And they have to kind of run away. But yeah, I don't think they really show, we don't have like really... We don't have characters that are having fun doing what they're doing, other than maybe Nicky's having some fun at times. But yeah, so your main guy isn't even, he just works. That's all he does.
Right.
And all Nicky does is hit people with telephones.
Yeah.
It's a good one, though.
Yeah.
Talk about degrading.
The age of cell phones must be a little hard on him, because
he still carries around a car phone for the weight.
Yeah.
For the weight.
And you think so, like, the equivalent of Goodfellas is when they're eating and having fun. Yeah, they're all laughing and stuff, but the old guys in this never smile.
Right.
Or anything.
Yeah, there's certainly more, in Goodfellas, there's a lot more human elements of, even the mobster bosses are like portrayed as in more of a friendly way, and you see them like enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
What the hell was Joe Pesci doing? Like he says multiple times in the movie, he's like, oh, I got big plans. I'm going to work at something big. You know what I'm talking about or something. What the hell was he even doing?
running
Like,
the
what
town.
was his big plan?
I think he's just to run the town as a boss.
Just running the town illegally, just I guess, but yeah, just off.
And by
forcing
running, that means
forcing
collecting
everybody
money.
to do what he
Yeah,
wants.
yeah.
Yeah. So doing whatever he
Strong
wants.
arming
basically.
everyone.
It seems like he's just in everything he did, though, right? Because like he lends money, people owe him money, he gets the money.
No, Nikki. No, there was a
No.
point where he was just-
There was the
Yeah,
part
he
where he
was
said,
just-
"What about the part where he said if he owes, he just says fuck you."
Oh yeah,
Yeah. There's that part.
There's the part where he's not doing anything but collecting money.
huh? If he said "fuck you" to you when you was trying to, when you were trying to get money from him, just don't work with him again. Lesson learned. And then that
Well,
kind of ends.
I guess that's fine. But then if you won't take his money, you might be in trouble too. But anyway, yeah, he would just book. He would bet, and if he lost, he wouldn't pay, or he would convince you that he bet the other way.
Convince you.
Yeah.
Head in a vice. Is that the worst thing? Isn't everything else pretty bad too? They had ice picks in his nutsack. How is the head in the vice worse?
Yeah, that's a good point.
'Cause I don't know, man. Head in the vice doesn't sound that bad. A nice little
No,
hug
Nicky,
for your
it's
skull. Come on.
Head in the vice, it's a little anticlimactic. I already got the spikes in my nutsack, and I didn't tell you his name.
Why didn't you cut it when he was doing the nutsack stuff? That's I would want to see that.
Seems like the time.
Who was that guy? Did you guys like follow the narrative in terms of the names very closely? I didn't really.
No,
He's like,
there were a
Nicky,
lot of
whatever,
people-
that piece of shit, you're saving him. And I'm like, I don't know who that guy is.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
like
Charlie
Stephen
M
or whoever it
Charlie
was.
M.
Charlie M.
M.
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah, I didn't know who Charlie M was.
No idea who Charlie M is. Chucky M.
And those people just came to shoot up a bar to try to like make themselves look tough. Is that it? They're like, hey, we're new in town. We got guns. Check us out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I guess we're led to believe.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure a lot of the narrative stuff I paid very close attention to.
Nope. I was tuning out some of it too.
Joe Pesci, I mean, it was Joe Pesci's fault everything went bad, right? If it wasn't for
No.
Joe Pesci,
No.
then things might have worked out.
I mean, you could argue that
They were
De
all
Niro's
right.
character, he shouldn't have fired the slots guy,
Right.
and he should have let him come back. I mean, that he turned the commissioner sour on him because he just flatly.
And that's when they
refused to
started
let-
investigating him.
Yeah, so that's
Well, that's when they
what
they
it-
denied his license, which fucked
Right.
him.
Right. So that contributed, but De Niro himself always blamed Nicky for everything. He didn't take any. His character didn't take any of the blame for it on himself. Everything was Nicky's fault, basically. He felt like, but he did his own thing. He was very stubborn, and that also like led to his own problems.
Yeah.
Were they working together at like towards the end of the movie? They seem to have hated each other towards the end, but they were still like business partners or something. I don't really understand how their relationship developed as the movie went on. Because in the beginning they were like partners, right? Like one
Yeah,
was the
they were
business
buddies.
guy, one, and then Nicky was the guy who like collected. One of them did the
Right.
like the deals, and one collected. But then,
Right.
One did the
Nick-
thinking, one did the muscle.
right.
Yeah, Nicky was the strong arm, like so that
Yeah.
was his job.
But
And
was he
also
doing that
to
at the end, or were they split by the end?
They might have been split, but it might have still been that, like, even if they were becoming more rivals, that they both still were under the orders of the mob bosses. So they still didn't necessarily go against what the mob bosses told them to do.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So neither of them were in charge necessarily.
I like the old guys beating people to death with baseball bats. Don't see that very
Yeah.
frequently in movies.
No. Gnarly way to go.
Yeah. Dude, that's like the saddest part. Remember the first time I watched this? I was like, oh, watching your brother being beaten to death would be like the worst thing ever.
Oh, it'd be awful.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be rough.
This movie was NC-17 upon first review by the MPAA. They had to edit some stuff to get it down to R for violence. When he shot that woman in the
Yeah.
head 3 times and like kind of caressed her head, was that weird? You guys?
Oh, that was strange. Yeah, so what, he shoot her with like a 22 or something, right? It doesn't have enough power to go out the other side.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
He had his arm. Yeah, they
Yeah.
mentioned like the 22 killer later on, like shortly after that, like on the news briefing. But yeah, I was wondering that too, because it's like, damn it, you don't, not that I kill people, but if I were, I
That we
wouldn't,
know
like,
of.
I wouldn't put my arm in the way of the shot, you know.
I don't think
mean,
the bullets have enough strength to
Yeah,
go through and through.
I can be certain, you know, you mean
Yeah.
totally
You shoot
certain.
him
Because
3
he's done it
shots.
before. He's done it before.
I know, but she's really old. Maybe that's weaker. I don't know. I mean, you
Yeah.
just
She's got to
don't know
squish your
for
brain.
Sure. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
And
She
3
did,
times
you know.
in the head seems a little much, don't you think?
It seemed like a little cap gun too. It was like pep, pep, pep.
Ugh. Scary shit. They do shoot people way too many times. Like when they shot that guy in the parking lot and they just walked by him and they're just like plugging him with a silenced gun like 10
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I thought the bodies were supposed to shake or jitter when they shot him, and there were many times when they did that nothing happened. Maybe that's more realistic. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought like the impact of the bullet still like jostles the corpse, but they didn't. Nothing happened.
Okay.
Corpse physics with John.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess I mean, if it was a shotgun, certainly it would jiggle at least a little bit.
Well, I
But
thought even a regular gun would do. I have no idea, but I feel like in many other movies, even when you shoot somebody, even if they're already dead, you see a visible impact of the bullet in the body,
in movies?
or like yeah, in other movies.
Well, the scene where they slow-mo shoot up that bar, people are like on the ground and there are no squibs going off, but they're shaking
Yeah,
kind of strangely.
right. See,
Yeah, none of the bullets seem to do that much damage instantly. Like the guy who got shot in the head in the parking lot, he had time to like wince and be like, ow.
yeah, right.
They think you would just fall, like shot in the head, no expression. That's what I would think.
Yeah, maybe some of that stuff was part of what was edited for the NC to get rid of the NC-17. I don't know.
One of the parts they did edit
True.
out was
Could be.
the head in the vice thing. They had you could see it really quickly if you looked, but they had a prosthetic eye that bulged out, and they had a shot where you could see it pop out of the guy's head. So instead of just describing that happening, they showed it, and that was removed.
Yikes.
Because apparently Scorsese was on the commentary, and he said it took the audiences 15 minutes to recover from that scene,
Oh,
Jeez.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
which is not something you want. You want people to like
No.
move on with a movie.
Right.
How
right.
did they quantify 15 minutes?
I don't know how they do test audience. Do they like stand it like in the front and
must
look
have.
at people's faces? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Maybe like no reaction for anything afterwards for 15
true.
minutes.
Yeah. And it was just like, geez, okay, finally, they're back into the story.
Yeah, they're like,
Damn.
okay, we lost him. Damn, we got to do something
Getting-
about that.
Cut that one out.
Yeah.
Yep. That's kind of cool, though. It's a process.
Yeah, it's weird how they, you make a movie and then you show it to people and then you're like, oh, shit. We fucked up, guys. Nobody likes it.
Back to square one.
The TV show part was weird. They could have touched on that more because that was kind of seemed unrealistic. That happened to this guy, but they just so weirdly touched on it. It's like, wait a minute, this bookie is now Johnny Carson. Like, how the fuck did that happen? Is that an easy transition?
But he did it.
He did
I
it,
think
right.
He
Yeah.
actually, right? But it was weird. It seemed surreal. I didn't understand it. And it didn't seem like consistent with his character either up to that point.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't seem like he was somebody who would be flamboyant or who would seek attention. He just did his job, I thought, so that it just seemed a little odd. I think, arguably he just couldn't deal with how he was disrespected and denied his license when he was told he would get it or at least receive a fair hearing. And so this led to this reaction, but it did seem very strange.
yeah, and he had the option just to become like the food guy or whatever. So it was intentionally like he wanted to be on TV for some reason. So yeah, I don't know. I also thought it was kind of unrealistic when the wife came back when she was smashing into the car and the cops like helped her
Yeah, what was
get
that?
money and stuff like that.
That would never go.
Yeah.
That would never happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll follow you to the bank so you can get your money that we know is probably illegal. Oh, don't worry. We'll take care of it.
I'll
didn't
watch it as you
understand
stuff
that.
it into a bag. This is fine.
Yeah, no, I'll help open it. No, I'll take a 20K. No, that's like none of that.
I
is
can't.
ever
I
gonna
can't.
happen.
Oh, it's in my hand.
I can't.
I guess I have it.
Well, I mean, I have it. So
I don't know how to throw things, so I guess I'm rich now.
So, I mean, shit. I don't know. Maybe get another one if you don't mind.
I am now a corrupt cop, so please give me more.
Well, I think he was already. If they're following her down to the bank,
Yeah. Or maybe they're just afraid. They knew he's a mobster or whatever.
and as if taxpayer money could ever be used for like one personal thing, right? Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here.
I had a question about, is she manipulating Joe Pesci? Did she like
Do
was
that
she-
on
was she-
purpose
yeah.
to save herself?
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
Arguably, her only love was Laster.
Which is confusing, but also true.
But I mean, it seems to be like she had some kind of like, well, she's with him since she was a little girl or something. So there's some weird stuff going on there. I don't know. But
Yeah, she was like, what,
but yeah.
13 when they met, which is fucked
yeah,
up.
So maybe it was just kind of messed her up. But yeah, I think it was. I thought it was definitely that she was just playing him. I don't think she wanted Nikki or anything, and Nikki didn't necessarily want her either. Maybe he just saw her as status.
But it wasn't
and
really
getting-
status, though,
getting
because he
Ace's
couldn't
girls.
like flaunt her or anything.
Oh, right, I know, but
That's true.
getting Ace's girl meant something to him. I don't know.
Yeah,
some
that
weird
was weird
fucked
too
up
because
shit.
he didn't seem too upset about it. Like he was an asshole because it's a pretty fucked up
Right.
thing to do and fuck your best friend's wife. Like that's pretty bad.
At that point,
Yeah.
she'd already been fucking around, though, right?
Had you been?
That's what I think. He said that
Oh.
when they were in his little monologue about she had been messing around before, but Nikki, why Nikki? You know?
Oh yeah. Was she a prostitute? No, she was like a showgirl, right?
No,
Or
I
something?
think she was just no. She would.
I
She would
think- I think
like,
she was a call girl. I think she was
was?
a prostitute.
and then like a con artist, right? Because she would con
Yeah,
them out of
yeah.
their money.
Yeah.
That was her whole job, is to like bring in rich people and then con them out of their cash.
And was she being paid by the casino to do that, or was she just like one of those fish that latch onto sharks? That's like, you didn't ask them to be there, but they're helping you out so they can stay.
I think it's part. Yeah, it's part of the ecosystem, right? So like, because that's why she was paying everyone off.
yeah.
So she wasn't really being paid by them. She was paying them to continue doing her work,
Right.
which was to get money. Like, yeah, so you nailed it. That's exactly right.
I love it
Fish
how
on the
they
shark.
just like giving a lot of credit to the valet parkers and stuff. I never heard anyone say like, "Oh, the valet parker is the most important job."
Yeah, right. As if that's true.
Yeah, it could
I
be.
mean, I
They
guess
see
it could've
everyone,
been.
right?
Yeah, that's true.
They're
They
like
have
the center of
that's-
information, pre-internet, pre-GPS.
That's a good point.
She spent $2 million in a few months. That seemed a little. How would you
Yeah,
even do
cocaine's
that?
a hell of a drug.
What kind of drugs? I mean, can you even do $2 million worth of cocaine in a few months? Is that
If
possible?
you're buying it for everybody.
Oh, yeah,
all
if
your
the host of
friends
the
at a
party.
big party, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Ooh, it's gonna be a fun party.
Didn't seem like she was only buying that too. She was buying clothes. She was buying fucking all sorts of shit.
Yeah, still staying in sleazy hotels though.
Hey,
One of the questions I had too was there was a meeting where everyone, like all the older mob guys, were talking about a guy and whether or not they trusted him, and I didn't know who it was because they didn't say his name. It ended up being Stoney. I don't know who that is either. But the one guy, Remo, was like, be safe, to like rub him out just to be safe or whatever. If an idiot,
right.
what the hell? Like, did you understand that part? I don't know who the people were they were talking about, why they wanted to rub this one guy out.
The guy, I thought it was the guy that was like, wasn't it the banker guy?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
It's the problem with having so many characters in a movie.
Yeah. It was an interesting conversation. I thought I remember that. Yeah.
Andy Stone, do we think that's who it is? Alan King. Oh, he's the guy with the big teeth. Mr. Teeth who gets shot in the back of the head in the parking lot.
Mr. Teeth.
He's got big ass teeth.
Does he?
Yeah, he was in Rush Hour 2. He was the bad guy. He had
Nice.
the
All right.
dragon boat. You guys ever seen that movie? Classic movie. Better than the first one. The ending. Did you guys like the ending? The glasses.
Killing Nikki.
No, the very
glasses.
end.
The glasses.
Big ass
The
glasses.
Yeah.
And then fade to
Looks
black.
like he's in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opinions, thoughts, glasses. What do you guys think? Come on.
I mean,
fine. It's fine.
whose idea was that? Scorsese, I guess, huh?
I guess. Was that ever in fashion? It might have been. You look like an old lady.
He did look like an old lady.
Maybe it's good for protecting your eyes because they're so big.
Oh, right, because you're so
Yeah.
old. Then.
Yeah, got to protect those eyeballs. I got some trivia, guys. There was a commentary on this, and it had Martin Scorsese, it had the screenwriter, it had Sharon Stone in it, and a few other people. And I wouldn't recommend it, which is sad because I was excited to listen to Martin Scorsese talk about this movie for a while.
Oh, yeah. It's impressive. I mean, yeah.
It was
What?
they never really talk about the scenes going on in the movie. I'm not sure how they put it together, but everyone was separate, and they would do the thing where it was like Sharon Stone, and then Sharon Stone would talk for a while. She told like a story of how she got cast and how like everyone calls Martin Scorsese Marty, by the way, to prove they're friends,
Right.
and they call Robert De Niro Bob.
That's what I actually go Bobby with him. But,
Ooh,
you know.
Bobby. For Sharon Stone's, they called her in twice, and Martin Scorsese stood her up twice. So the third time they called her in, she was like resistant to it, and he ended up like following her to a restaurant and kind of jumping into her dinner plans and convincing her to come in and audition to the role,
Oh, wow.
which is pretty weird. Apparently, he went and watched every single one of her movies before going and talking to her.
Oh, wow.
And the reason she signed up is because there was one movie she thought was like the worst movie she's ever done. And he watched it and he thought it was okay and was like honest about his opinions with it and stuff.
Wow. But Scorsese put that much carefulness into his casting. And yet, I don't know.
and yet this one was just okay.
Well,
according to two of the people,
and yet he had Cameron Diaz in Gangs of New York. I'll just leave that there.
oh, you are so right, John. You are right.
Low blowed.
It's better than the Steven Spielberg's wife in the Temple of Doom. How about that?
Yeah, I guess so. That's fair enough. But that movie was sort of like edging on B movie anyway,
Yeah.
which is in a fun way. So, yeah, I don't know. You got Daniel Day-Lewis and you got Cameron Diaz.
You got Leonardo DiCaprio and you got Cameron Diaz.
I think that's actually right. And I think there you got the full spectrum. Because to me, Leo's kind of right in the middle.
What?
Yeah.
You got people who are
Yeah.
good that you hate for no reason. You got people who are good who are the best. And then you got Cameron Diaz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who was great in There's Something About Mary.
Yeah. Comedy role. She was also good in Vanilla Sky.
Well, I don't remember that one
Yeah,
very well.
she was good.
Yeah. Oh, she's all right now. And that was a fucked up movie.
Yeah. Trivia, what do we got? The love triangle? Like pretty much this entire movie is real. Even like the pretty small details of how people got murdered. They did kill a guy with his head in a vice. There were small changes like when De Niro's character's car blew up. He did survive that, but it didn't catch on fire and he went out and then it exploded. It exploded and he was thrown from the car and like had some minor burns and some broken ribs, but survived.
Right.
In like the cornfield scene, their bodies were found in a cornfield, but they discovered, I guess, somehow that they were beaten to death, or not to death, but
Right, they
them,
weren't buried alive.
Right, well, one of them
basically.
was buried alive, but they were beaten
really?
in a basement, and then they were transported to the cornfield.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, that's like small details, but it's pretty damn close.
And he owned like in reality he managed like 3 or
Stardust.
4 casinos.
Well, yeah, it was mostly
Like,
the
not just-
Stardust.
Yeah, but there's like actually a total of 3 casinos or 4 that he managed, not just one, but they didn't want to complicate things, so they just had this one casino for him.
Every mob boss guy was based on like a real mob boss that was involved. The mobs owned these casinos in this way, and they had like legitimate people put their names on it. And yeah, I really had a hard time finding one thing that wasn't true. The cheating happened the way it did. All the deaths happened the way they did, except for the one fake death was when that one guy was getting arrested at his house and had a heart attack and died. He died like 10 years later in prison. But every other death was pretty damn accurate. All the motivations and like plot points and everything these are all coming from mostly being questioned by the police and FBI and things like that. So they're under oath testimonies by these people. So you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt, I guess.
Yeah.
But the main character guy, he didn't get in trouble for any of this. He also like says that he doesn't agree with how the movie portrayed. Like he says the movie is pretty accurate, except for the fact that he knew that anything was going on with the mob, because that's apparently his front. So he stays out of prison.
Oh, wow.
So
He's acting like he had no idea?
Yep.
Come on.
I mean, yeah, the movie certainly makes it seem impossible for him not to know, especially because he was very good friends with the Nikki character in real life. So what the hell did they talk about if they didn't talk about what they did all of the time?
Man.
Right. Exactly.
The screenplay was finished before the book, even though the movie says it was based on a book. But the guy who wrote the book was the guy who wrote the screenplay, who's also the guy who wrote Goodfellas. And he was working
And Martin
on both at the same
Scorsese
time.
like talked him into doing the movie first.
Yeah. So like he made the deal, he wrote the screenplay, and then he had to like rush to finish the book because they were filming the movie before. And while that screenwriter kind of got credit for the screenwriter, Martin Scorsese, even the screenwriter says that Scorsese wrote half this story. So
Oh wow.
yeah. Another thing that didn't actually happen, Joe Pesci's "Don't Make Me Do This," that was improv. There was a lot of improv in this movie. All the fight scenes were improv. The desert scene with Pesci and De Niro were improv. And pretty much any scene where someone was yelling at somebody else, those were improv.
That's kind of amazing. Just because it all seems so natural, and I guess that's the whole point of improv, certainly. But usually, oddly, that kind of improvisation stuff can seem so much more artificial and gimmicky than if somebody really spent a lot of time thinking about it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of impressive.
Part of I guess the reason they hired Sharon Stone was in the audition. She was supposed to like beat up Robert De Niro, and that was like the tryout. And they brought her back, and they were like, "What? How did you think you did?" She's like, "I felt like I couldn't actually do it because I'm afraid of like hurting Robert De Niro." It's like, "Well, if we hire you for this, you're really gonna have to do it. Are you okay with that?" And she's like, "Yep."
Nice.
So they really beat each other up. They shot those scenes with a mobile camera. It seemed like a lot of the tracking shots were planned, but they weren't. They would just like fight each other, and he'd drag her around, and they just follow her with the camera and just like try to get footage that way.
Yeah.
Didn't look like it didn't hurt.
Yeah, she said she got
it
scraped up.
definitely looked like it hurt for sure.
Yeah.
She had like a very short skirt on. She was being dragged across linoleum and shit, like kicking.
Yeah, like
that would
that hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember falling like as a kid on linoleum for the first time, like
You'd
running
stop
around.
dead.
Just
You're like,
like,
oh.
dude, just going nowhere.
You just
rip
get
your
stuck
skin
to
right
the
off.
ground. Momentum
Yeah.
completely stops.
Ugh.
The mom in that scene where they're like bugging that guy when he like spills all the information, they like have that vent in the ceiling bugged.
Oh, wait, that was the one bit of comedy that I loved.
I'm sorry,
where
Mom,
she's
I'm
like,
sorry.
hey, and
Yeah.
she ends up throwing something at him.
Do you know who that is? The old woman?
Isn't that Scorsese's mom?
It is.
I thought so.
No shit. Huh?
Yeah. And he didn't even tell her to act. He's like, Mom, just do, like, he's going to say some awful things and just react. And that's all she
Just
did.
do you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Sharon Stone left the business after this movie for a little while because this was the peak. Like, this is what she wanted to do when she was younger. She's like, I wanted to work with Scorsese and I wanted to work with De Niro. And then I did.
Nice.
And then I won a Golden Globe and couldn't get better.
I
So
had
I
no
quit.
more reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had no more.
Yeah. I mean, Oscar nominated for it. I mean, yeah.
Are you surprised that no one else, like nothing else in this movie got nominated for an Oscar?
I'm not sure what it takes to be nominated for an Oscar. So
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
Doesn't
enough.
seem like there's a rhyme
it's
or
tough.
reason to it.
I think it lives in the shadow of Goodfellas, and that makes it maybe that sort of like, for better or worse, that may have hurt it.
Yeah.
So it's Pesci in particular, like, but I don't know if I don't know. What did Goodfellas win? Did Goodfellas win much?
He won Best Supporting Actor, I think, for that one.
Did he? So that makes sense then. I don't think like I think that would that makes it tougher for him to get back in.
Yeah.
As because he's playing kind of the same character.
Sharon Stone is a crazy person, I think, and that's just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure she's crazy. She was
Okay.
describing her. I don't even know how to say this. She described how she felt when she was acting in that scene where she dies, which was the last scene they shot, as her character Ginger lived inside of her body, and when she fell over and pretended to be dead, she could feel the character leaving her body. And
Oh,
she described it
come
in like such detail where she was pretty much not even like subtly backhanded complimenting herself by being like, I was so amazing that like I had everybody on set like in awe of me. But she did it in a way where she wasn't giving herself credit because it was like the spirit of this character in her was the reason that it was so good.
Oh God, they're so full of
I
themselves.
know.
But I guess this is their craft. I don't know, man. I hear
It's
people
like,
talk
yeah.
like that. I'm just like, there's nothing else going on up in your head.
She's
besides
crazy.
that.
Yeah,
It's-
I
yeah.
don't know. That's like you don't see actors do this very much, but like you see athletes do it all the time, where it's like, oh, it's all glory to God, man, glory to God. Like the supreme being of the universe is working through you, so you can win your football game.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. Same thing with the
like
acting.
the actors are like, oh, it's embodying the spirit of this person,
And God is
this
just
person
up there
is
waiting for them to kiss their fist and point up at him. You're like, ooh, he remembered me.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actors are something else, man.
But maybe you think it's probably like in her head, she's like, I don't deserve all of this. I'm not this good. It's got to be something
you could
else.
say that. It could be like deflecting it, and it could be a form of modesty. It's just sort of it's hard to know, I guess, unless
Well,
you know the
I
person,
mean,
whether or not it's just a
honestly-
backhanded, like just another way of patting yourself on the back.
Yeah.
Well, and the
Or-
three of
or
us
if it
don't
is,
realize how they're actually a part of that industry, right? So everyone's very serious about this stuff that they do in the process of making these films. But like for people that don't make them or are not a part of that thing, we're just kind of like, it's a movie. What
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Fair enough. And
So
yeah,
it doesn't
I mean,
translate because to them it's their
Right.
whole world. And here, if you guys were here and like wherever on a studio set, it's intense. Like people's whole lives are revolving around this. So I kind of understand it, but at the same time, it's always the actors that say the weirdest shit.
Yeah.
Like that. Like the rest of it, everyone else is like, no, this is my life. Like I'm a sound guy, or this is my life. I do lights, or
Right.
the actors, like that's all they have. Like the
Right.
only part of them is whatever they did in that moment.
The sound guy's not like, yeah, that explosion, it just embodied me, and I think it
right.
came from somewhere deep inside, that's not me,
Exactly.
even. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Right.
And I was there and I went, boom.
Boom.
And I
Yeah,
picked it up and I
Every-
turned my knobs and it worked.
Everybody on
Man, I'm
set
telling you,
looked at
man,
me
I
and
know
gave
that
me the thumbs up.
72 hertz really goes far in people's psyche, man.
but it's still a fair point, TC. That
Yeah.
like, and you think of Sharon Stone, who this is her whole life, like leading
Yep.
up to this point in terms of her success, and so it's got to have huge like meaning and impact. And same thing with athletes and things like that too, in terms of like their whole lives revolve around these moments, and it
Right.
sort of like is all they are, and so that maybe can lead to a very, very profound experience that to us on
seems
the outside might seem like
stupid.
really.
yeah, trivial.
All right, I'm gonna go watch another movie tomorrow.
Anyways, I got to go
night.
back to work. I got the I got another 60 hours this week to work. you know?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you spent a year of your life studying this character and then acting in a movie and then working 18-hour days and getting thrown out on the ground? It took me 2-3 hours to watch, and I'm going to forget about it in a week and a half.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm glad you're embodied.
Yes. The thing is, she definitely believed it too. Like, she thought that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they believe that stuff. Of
When I
course.
act, I put a little person inside my own person, and then I have 2 people, and then I walk around and they tell me good job, and I get little statues, and that's my
Yeah.
life.
I have to eat twice as much when that happens.
Oh, God.
I need another portion. I'm eating for 2. What are you, pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant, you asshole.
I got
I'm
little
acting.
Ginger in my belly. Come on. I call her Little Ginger. She likes twisters. I got nothing else, guys. What do you think?
I got nothing else either.
Nothing
It
else.
is an okay film for me.
Okay film. Would you put an okay film in the top 250?
No.
TC, would you put an okay film in the top 250?
Nah.
Nah. I'm going to go, yeah. I really like this movie.
All
It's
right,
good.
you go, Denny.
Can you think, would anybody ever make another casino movie after this movie? No. It's as good as it could have been for a casino movie. It is the casino movie that exists.
True.
You're probably right. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure that there are several movies about like card sharks or cheaters or stuff. There's its own genre, I guess, in terms of like there's been a number of films made about people that went and like tried to cheat Vegas.
Yeah, those are annoying though, because they're always like teach you the rules of Texas Hold'em, and you're like, I already know.
Yeah.
Matt Damon, you goddamn idiot, stop talking to me. You know,
I already
rounders.
know. I don't know the rules of Texas Hold'em. I don't play cards. I don't gamble
Oh,
either.
it's fun, dude.
I got enough addictions.
Yeah, it's a very unsafe addiction
I'm out of-
because
I'm out of room.
Yeah.
I don't have any room left for any more addictions.
No more vices.
see what I like to do
Can't
is
do
I
it.
stack them. I like to gamble
I'm
and
out
drink
of
at the same
fingers.
time.
Out
That's
of
the best.
out of bad habit, bandwidth. Sorry, can't do it.
You got to upgrade your internet provider there, TC.
I'm
You get
out,
some more
I'm
bandwidth.
out of bandwidth. That's right.
So next week, I weep for all of us. I am losing interest in these old movies, guys, but I'm going to try to keep open-minded. This movie's from 1927. It's called Sunrise. It's directed by F.W. Murnau, I think. M-U-R-N-A-U. I don't know. An allegorical tale about a man fighting with the good and evil within him. Both sides are made of
Ooh.
flesh. One a sophisticated woman he is attracted to, and the other his wife.
Ugh.
Interesting.
Interesting. Won 3
Great.
Oscars back in 1927.
How long?
Hour and a half.
All right.
Not
all right,
bad, not
all right.
bad.
Things are looking up.
At least you get with
Things are
these
looking up.
old ones. And I'm sounding negative, so I hope I'm just being honest. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you able to go into these movies anymore with like a completely
no.
open mind? Or well, TC,
Nope.
no. John, are you able
No.
to?
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings. It's neat to see this stuff. I would not see this stuff otherwise, and so it's really neat to see some of these classics and sometimes be pleasantly surprised. Again, sometimes they're long and boring, but no, this one I'm interested in.
Is it a talkie? Give me some
That's a
sounds.
really
Yeah.
That's a really kind of not one way or the other
Yeah.
idea of going into. You're like, I mean, they're long and boring. But I try to go in, but like, no, you
Well,
don't. 'Cause
but look at, like-
I
look
go
at,
into
like,
them every
Tok-
time
yeah.
like, this is going to be long and boring, and it's
Oh.
going to be fucking lame.
Yeah.
But look like Danny, look at like remember the ones that are good, like Tokyo Story.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these are timeless, and that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
hope
I
this
guess I'll
one-
give him that. I have to give him that.
Yeah.
there's
I
no
know,
way to
this,
tell.
This movie does sound pretty damn pretentious, though.
Fuck.
Like the casts are, you have the man, the wife, the woman from the city, the maid, the
God.
barber.
Oh, Jesus.
God.
It's like a game of
The
Clue.
manicure girl, the obtrusive gentleman, the obliging gentleman. This will be
It's
great.
subtitled. This fable morality is subtitled "A Song of Two Humans."
Oh, no.
Shit, we're gonna talk TC out of Washington. We should stop talking.
Oh, God.
I can't tell if it's a silent movie or not because it says it's mixed in mono, which is awesome.
Oh, no. It's not going to be good, guys.
I bet the music sounds like this. You know, old movies.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm gonna
The
shit
man,
on this
the
before I
wife,
see it.
The woman from the city. Oh, Jesus.
That was a German film, so
Oh,
so it's got to be.
at least
so
we're
it's
reading
in
something.
subtitles. Oh, we're reading
It might
subs.
We got to
It
read
might- well,
something.
no, wait. The director is German. I don't know if what
Oh.
we've got, if it's an English film.
Oh,
or
it's
not.
a
Yes.
silent. So mono is the one, and then there's a silent version too.
Oh, what does that mean?
I hope that we watch the mono one.
I actually want mono. Is that weird?
Yeah, sound mix is mono, movie tone, musical score, and sound
Oh,
effects.
he's
Silent is the
also the
ultimate
director of Nosferatu.
Oh, and that's not on this list? You think it would be?
I thought it might be.
Yeah.
If it's not.
It's not. He did some good old ones there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all I got.
Cool.
Take us
Well,
away, somebody.
Timmy.
Timmy?
Fuck off, everybody.
Timmy does not wake up on Sunday. That makes sense.
No,
That's fair.
no.
I'll talk to you guys next
Yep.
week.
Yeah, what do we rate, subscribe, and all that other shit?
Oh, yeah. Rate and subscribe on your
Yeah.
favorite podcast app. Give us a 5-star. We're on Facebook and Twitter. You can follow us there. And thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
See
Happy
you.
holidays.
See you next week, John. I'll see you next week.
Oh wow, like
No,
literally.
That's what you just said. I'm just making.
I meant it.
all right,
Denny,
boys.
Don't you come to my house again, Denny.
Yeah,
I can travel whenever I want, John.
next week.
You better lock your door. All right, bye, guys.
All right,
See you guys.
later.
Double